Hello, people. My name is Kale Boss. The only boss. Oh, wait, what else? Have you heard? Wait, do you know that Tap Tap Send is live in Texas? Oh, you didn't know? We went to New York. Now we are live in Texas. So people in Texas and around, all you have to do is to download Tap Tap Send. Yes, Tap Tap Send has become the most unique, secure, and fast way of sending money across the world to your loved ones anywhere. Okay, so download Tap Tap Send on Google Play Store or App Store, and when you're in Texas or around, you just have to put in the code TXGH. What did I say? TXGH, and you get $10 for your first transaction you make. Mahama dear, Texas, you drew very soon we'll conquer everywhere. Download Tap Tap Send now on Google Play and App Store. Tap Tap Send, it's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Capstone E Global Consult Limited. Jumekuo bia. Omo fa registered nurses. Drivers are omo GCC license. NFA securities. Edi omo ko amaya hodro bi so te se Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, NFA USA. Na mene wo kasa sisi akra. Omo per registered nurses. Edi omo ko USA. Akoye juma ko jisika pudro. Anne. Na enye we po. Capstone E Global Consult Limited. Esanso boama. Sa wo peka atofri amanone. Omo beye ho hyehyeye nyina ama. Na wo nsatimi ka biara edawa kuma so wa bra wo mre ho enti omo se bra omo so ye sesi a wo be hu omo Otema community 9 omo ni Ashama Timber Market ene din hwe anim anase fra omo en 0599 183083 anase 0302 986573 amanone fo so fra omo +821 021811 Capstone E Global Consult Limited. Your success is our business.
Check now, check it, fa check it, check it. The beat is real, don't will make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it, fa check it, fa check it. Green select glucometer, check it, sugar level, fa check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
This is our business. Our business is to sit and discuss some of the best stories happening in and around Ghana, our showbiz space in Africa, and all over the world. My name is Sammy Flex. This is Showbiz Daily. Showbiz Daily is live on Sammy Flex TV, and on a Tuesday evening like this, you should know the team are seated for us to do what we have to do. And I'm talking about Roland Amate, I'm talking about Nana Reagan, I'm also talking about man like Kobe Josvan, aka the nation's blogger. Kobe is a blogger and he also works with Anointed Electrical Services. Nana Reagan is the talent manager, road manager for Wendy Shea, also a journalist, and Roland Amate is also the digital communicator for ride-hailing app Shagzy, as well as a talent manager and online person who is managing the website www.showbizchannelgh.com. Now, when you know them like this, then you should know that I am here as the chairman for the occasion. Meanwhile, off screens, Digital Rasta is called Currency, who is handling our camera, and Richie Flex is the editor-director of the show. Thanks for being a part of it. Because of time, let's try to hit the stories. Back. Then we can run away from here. Tap Tap Send is still here, making sure that they are telling you to send money from abroad to Ghana the right way. Don't lose guard. Always make sure you are using Tap Tap Send. It is just an app. Download the app on your phone, put in your bank details and your promo detail. That's in Sammy Flex, and with this, you get some extra money into your wallet. More money into your wallet. Now, let's move on to story number 1. And well, I have some stories I would want to read, maybe 2 of them. Let's see how best we can kill them. Then we are good to go. First, Richie, let's do it with Bola's partnership with Ubuntu Incorporation, and let me ask my people what they think about this partnership. We are talking about partnership of growth. We are talking about the fact that our industry should be able to cross borders, and if we are to cross borders, how are we to do it? Remember when Sarkodie said we as media people should also move? Maybe he was talking about some of these things. So Rich, let's read that story, then ask my people what they think about it, the good and the bad, or maybe the good and the good. Then we take it from there. It says Bola's Empire Entertainment Inc.'s music partnership deal with Ubuntu Enterprises LLC. In fact, I never knew Bola was still even operating Empire. I thought it was now down because of EIB activities, but after this story, I will Bola's Empire Entertainment Inc.'s music partnership deal with Ubuntu Enterprises LLC. And the story reads that Ghanaian-owned music label Empire Entertainment has announced a groundbreaking partnership with Ubuntu Enterprises LLC, 2 influential entities in the radio music or radio/music industry. This collaboration aims to elevate the music landscape and deliver unique experiences to fans around the world. The partnership between Empire Entertainment and Ubuntu Enterprises brings together their respective strengths, resources, and expertise to foster innovation and create compelling opportunities for both artists and music enthusiasts. This collaboration is a testament to their shared vision of pushing boundaries and redefining the music industry. Nat Kwabena Anochia DC, better known as Bola, CEO of Empire Entertainment, is one of Ghana's most renowned pioneering radio and television personalities. Over the years, he has developed into one of the nation's foremost authorities in media management, business development, and event production. He has become a poster boy for perseverance and discipline. As a visionary with a keen eye for talent, he inspires those that follow in his entrepreneurial, philanthropic, and artistic footsteps. Now, Carl Shackleton is the CEO and president of Ubuntu Enterprises, and they are a seasoned professional in the music industry with a career spanning over 25 years. He's the creative dynamo behind House of Hits, a prolific music production house known for its diverse array of projects. Now, Shackleton's portfolio ranges from the production of albums and EPs, scoring soundtracks for various film genres, including romantic comedies and urban films. His talent lies in his ability to customize each work to flawlessly align with project-specific needs. And this is one of the biggest stories in our showbiz space. This partnership, is this what our industry needs? In fact, when you go on to read further, the boss, as in Shackleton, has done collaborations with big names in the American entertainment industry. And I believe if my people have gone deep into the story and they have read what it means, we are ready to talk about it. Is this some of the things we need when we talk about the industry's growth? And Nana, let me start with you.
Yeah, brothers and greetings to viewers. I think it's a very positive news for our music space, and I agree with you if you say these are some of the things maybe perhaps Sarkodie was, pointing fingers at. I think this is what every industry needs when we talk about developments and growth, like some of these partnerships and international collaborations in every area of our space, in terms of events, in terms of labels, in terms of even music productions. You understand? So I am very happy Bola as a giant in our industry have taken such a step, and I know and understand that a lot of people will also follow suit. Already there are some that are doing things behind the scenes. They are doing certain partnership things that they have not announced in public like this. So we are hoping that it becomes many, so that a lot of people, a lot of the stakeholders will have an opportunity to benefit from some of these collaborations or partnerships. This is really huge. I mean, the name Ubuntu has been there for over 25 years or so. So definitely looking at Bolare's Empire Entertainment and their records to, I mean, them coming together is a huge thing.
And where they operate from, the American entertainment music industry proper.
Exactly. So anybody that is going to have the opportunity to be part of this collaboration or partnership is really going to enjoy, especially the artists. Any artist that gets the chance to work with Bola on this partnership thing with Ubuntu, it will be a very great adapt to the person's career. So we look forward for more. Definitely, we shouldn't sit. Some of these things, in fact, some of these people are even looking for us now. It is just a matter of sitting down to say, okay, you want to just create some conversations with certain brands, certain labels, or certain companies that are out there. When you make the effort, some of these things can happen. So we shouldn't sit in the comfort of our homes or offices and always wait for some of these things to come to us. We can also scout or search for some of these things, and it's very, very possible.
So, I see. Are these the kind of companies that when they come, some of our people also get shaking, or they get scared knowing that they are bringing money to take some artists who are under some labels? Are these the kind of collaborations people are scared of? Because of course, when they come and they are looking for some talent, they have the money. It is not about Bolare's money alone. They are bringing money from elsewhere to pump into the industry to get some talent. Is this what has been bringing the confusion we've been trying to solve lately?
It could be. Everything depends on how the person is approaching our space. And with this particular one, I think they are doing a very professional thing. I mean, going through Bolare, and for Bola to even announce the partnership, they should tell you how transparent maybe they want to be. So, for instance, if Bola wants to engage any artist that is already on any indie label, definitely Bola, I don't think Bola will want to steal the artists. Some of them have been saying, like, come and steal you because they will open a bag of money to you, or
bag of money.
Show you certain opportunities that you can't resist. But definitely I know Bola will do the right thing. I mean, he's been with us, and we respect and trust him for some of these things. In fact, he is one person that I'm sure he would want to protect the indie labels as well, so that that event or activity of unearthing and scouting and grooming other talents too will not be vanished. It won't vanish from our space. So I want to believe Bola is going to do the right thing. So we won't get Japan and Coca coming to raise any alarms or fight Ubuntu to say they are also stealing certain artists, just as some labels have been doing. We don't want to see we don't want to see that.
Well, Kobe,
Razan,
let me get your opinion. Good news for us?
Sure, but first of all, let me greet our cherished viewers. And I must say, Bola has been Bola has been one of the key personalities in our space that have been contributing a lot to our space.
I know, huge.
Yes,
Bola has done a lot.
Yes,
in fact, if our industry really respects
sure,
pay setters, Bolare should be that guy when you meet him before lie down some.
Sure. And I think that is one thing that the Nigerians do most of the time, especially when you see the young talent meeting the OGs. They always give them the maximum respect and give them their flowers. But in our own case, I say,
well, let me also say this. Bolare's life too makes me feel these Nigerians are not for us like that.
Sure.
Because I'm saying this on a note. The way Bolare was dealing with these Nigerians, if really they were for us like that,
they would have come.
A long time.
they would have held him down.
Not today.
Well,
I think
We are with you, but we are not yours.
no, I don't come over from.
I think just as the Okano, they have their own interests. So whatever thought that they are looking for, the very moment they get out and they feel like, oh, let me just go. And it's one thing that we need to more or less appreciate it, especially having a huge label like this. These are some of the things that over the years we've been looking up to say we will get this label on board so that our talent will also get them pushed to the world and also make things right. But the thing is, how are we going to make things? I mean, I know there will be a whole lot of opportunity, but we shouldn't let this opportunity go so that the same people will come around saying, say, so we are still not seeing the essence of it. So this is the right time that more or less we should also make a move and also grab certain things. And I should also say this, with the international label like this, the CEO himself has worked for almost 25 years with experiences, and even with the big fishes like Jay-Z and the likes, he has an experience with them. And one thing that we need to also pay attention to, when two experienced people meet in this industry, one thing that we should also pay attention to is experiences. As such talent, you still need someone who is experienced in the game. That will help you steer affair and bring forth whatever good negotiation that you need. So imagine having Bola and this partner on board. I mean, we will get the best result, but let us all embrace it and make our things right. And trust me, the conversation of Grammy, maybe we'll be fortunate to get some of these talents appearing on this.
So let me ask you for your advice. When they come in like this, would you advise that they look for fresh talent, or they look for already made, already baked artists to put in money? Where do you think their money should go to?
I think with this conversation like this, the percentage should be 50-50. You will still get some fresh talents that more or less they'll be interested. They have whatever it takes for them to be invested to. And we still need some of our big fishes in the industry too. Of course, they are doing very well. The likes of, Shatta, Sarkodie, Sammy, they are still doing well. And with this consistency, I believe if they get these labels behind them, they will do magic. We shouldn't also let it go that the young ones also don't deserve it. Kiddy, Kwame Eugene, Jackie, some of them are still in partnership with some of these labels, but we still need multiple labels to back them so that we can also fill the O2 Arena and other bigger auditorium. Because someone like Burna Boy has about 3 or even more than labels behind him doing that magic. But someone like Shatta, maybe Sarkodie, individual doing it, but always we will more or less push the conversation being like Ghanaians are not doing things. So if you have these people on board and the center of the conversation will lead to a mutual benefit. Right now we are talking about offer that will benefit both parties. So if they spread the table or maybe the conversation and you realize that going for this deal will be a win-win affair and more or less to help you achieve whatever result, I think it's a good case for you to embrace it. Yeah.
Okay, Ro, come through.
First, let me say greetings to our viewers. Speaking of partnership, Shagzy is still recruiting, and I will entreat everybody to go on our social media pages, especially if you're part of the family. Go on there. There are numbers on screens that you can call and just be part of the whole family.
Those who are at home.
Of course, recruitment. Okay. These are part-time recruitment, not permanent stuff. Yeah. So now to the substantive issue on board. This is a very beautiful announcement. Collaboration is one thing that help improve any industry or any wing of the industry. So yes, you can't do away with collaborations, whether internally or external collaborations. They are very, very important. However, some of these things has its own dynamics and how they affect. Some may come as a blessing, but in disguise might not be the best for us. Some may also come, I see this to be coming silently. This particular partnership is coming in silence, and sometimes it can be a huge blessing to our industry. My only worry is now the recruitment process, how this partnership is going to affect the whole industry.
They say they are recruiting artists.
No. But definitely, because it is about music, artists would be involved, and artists will be recruited, whether established or upcoming. Of course, and we know the a conversation already going on about people stealing artists here and there. The other time I said, say, if we don't position ourselves in the new ways of doing business, you see, the bigger ones are coming. They are coming in different folds, different colors, different shades. And if we are to structure the recruitment, if the conversations that we are having currently, nobody can stamp their chest and say in business wise these people have made any wrong, then there's no need for us to hold their neck. If we are talking about morals, the moral contest, nobody will pass. You understand? The moral contest, nobody will pass. You can only plead with somebody to just be morally connecting to you. Yes, to you. And that is the only thing you can do. But in terms of business, how the person should position himself, people can position themselves in such a way that you might think, oh, this thing is there to help this industry. You see, we might have this whole conversation again, and some people will come and blame the likes of Bola for stealing the artist again. It is likely to happen. Because when the recruitment processes start, there are some artists whose contracts will elapse as at that time, and they would love to join this partnership. And this same industry people will come and call them thieves. And it is the same conversation. Exactly. So me, my worry is not how these things come. It is about how prepared we are as a people,
as the whole industry,
to meet it. Because you don't do your things anyhow, because I am not sure these entities come and they do things anyhow. No. People that we are complaining they are stealing these artists, they are not doing things anyhow like we are doing. No. They are not coming to do business based on like only morals. So they are doing business with like business attitude on top.
With figures.
Of course.
No, but some of them are doing things.
Yes, some of them.
If you go into an artist that you know belongs to a label, if you go to the artist directly to work with, you are also doing something.
No, I am not talking about internal ones. I'm not talking about
the external, like
external. See,
like someone going to book a show and not contacting management.
Exactly. Like you go
and then I make no. When I'm saying external ones, I am not talking about somebody, maybe the record label is in America and has signed somebody. No, I am talking about the Sonys, the Empire partnership that they have with our artists. How many of our artists can tell me that they are signed to these labels and they'll go and play show without their notice? How many of them? Recently, don't we get even our own people booking some of our very own artists for them to tell them that they've assigned their performance right to some people, so they should go and contact them? It happened to Black Sheriff not long ago in London. You understand? None of them will try. Nobody will try and say, Empire has signed me, Sony has signed me, and I will go and play show without their consent or without informing them.
So they won't try it because it is about Empire and Sony Music. But if it is about Flex Entertainment,
obey. Exactly. Because we are doing 70% morals and 30% paper.
Music.
You understand? 30% strict business. That is our problem. Until we position ourselves to know that these people that are coming, they are not coming based on our moral standards. They don't take our moral standards for nothing. If we want to do charity, that is we and between us. Them. But they are coming for business. So let's position ourselves right. And me, I am happy for Bola because this whole conversation, Empire Entertainment has been one hub that has served the industry a lot.
Very well.
If right from introducing artists into the system, giving them platforms, showing them to the limelight and all that, both local and foreign. And for
almost all his artists he traveled with,
of
them,
course,
one or the other.
and for it to have gone down in some few years ago, it was one huge blow to an industry, because I am looking at somebody like Bola who can be compared to the likes of Don Jazzy's, the Bankulis, and all that in Africa's entertainment. And if Don Jazzy and his likes have about 10, 15 artists or close to 10 artists under their belt currently, and all of them are making waves, I am also wishing that somebody like Bola and his peers who have served the industry to that extent now, because as it stands, yes, Don Jazzy is still working, but he's reaping off his hard work that he's done over the years. And I would love somebody like Bola to also be doing that. So me, if this partnership, as it is coming, is going to serve us a lot, why not? I will also entreat us to position ourselves so that top industry or top entities will not just enter and go as at when they feel like it. We've seen these DSPs come into our system. Oh, today they've built Twitter office in Ghana. They've built this Boomplay office. They've built this office, and tomorrow, before you realize, they've closed it down without anybody's notice, without any proper notification, and they just go like that because the industry is not positioned well. So I pray we position ourselves very well. Yes, to receive this.
Well, so once again, to Bola and his people at Empire Entertainment, we wish you guys well. It is our prayer that some of these things will be happening in our industry, so our people would also be exposed to bigger markets, bigger money, and bigger everything as well. Now let's move on to another thing that I want us to look at, and I will be reading another story from Afriye, that is the other part of Wuta. Let me read his story as well. Let's listen to what he's saying. Maybe he's right, maybe he's not right. That is what I want us to look at. Richie, so if the story is ready, you can also put that on screen whilst I read this story for you to also share your opinion on here. Now, this is Afriye Wuta talking, and he says, Afriye Wuta critiques Ghanaian artists' readiness for international market. Afriye Wuta thinks we are not ready for the international market here. And why is he saying this? He says, Ghanaian songwriter and vocalist Afriye Wuta has expressed his concern about the readiness of most Ghanaian artists for the international music market. In a 3news.com report, he noted that all the current crop of Ghanaian artists are more focused on entertainment. Listen to this particular paragraph, because that is where the real issues are. He says in a 3news report, he noted that the current crop of Ghanaian artists are more focused on entertainment than musicianship, which poses a significant challenge to their success on a global scale. I think, and this is a quotation from him, he says, I think the major problem now is we are grooming more entertainers than musicians. Most of our current crop of artists are entertainers. They are not musicians. He elaborated on the challenges faced by the Ghanaian music industry and proposed potential solutions while emphasizing the lack of proficiency demonstrated by Ghanaian musicians during live performances. According to him, morally sound individuals should be able to captivate audiences with their performance. As a virtuoso, one must possess the ability to give audiences a great performance during live shows, he stated. Now, as a result, he claims Ghanaian artists struggle to deliver exceptional performances at award shows, concerts, and other events, resulting in public dissatisfaction. Afriye Wuta, who is a member of the former group or the SWAL group, Wuta is highly regarded for his remarkable vocal talent and his significant contributions to the Ghanaian music industry over the past decade. Throughout his career, he has treated Ghanaians to an array of memorable songs. Lala, The One, Lover of My Life, Cheers, and Here to Stay. This is the story, and I love this. I love this when artists speak about themselves. I like it when those who are in the space do a peer review, and this is one of them peer reviews. Ro, start this for me. Afriye is talking. Yeah. He says, currently in the music industry, the people we have are entertainers. They are not musicians.
It's true.
It's true?
Yes, he's 100% true.
Hey.
Oh yes, we have more entertainers than musicians.
Then let's close the show.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oh,
it's true. It's true. You see, we have few musicians.
The imbeciles will come and speak trash.
No,
some nincompoops will come and be speaking
yes. It's true. We have more entertainers than musicians. Now, it doesn't mean that it is entirely bad, because being an entertainer is more or less like you having diverse skills, if that's how I should put it. But when he wants to talk about music, being an entertainer doesn't make you a true musician. Because musicianship is on a different level. On a normal, any musician should know how to play at least a single instrument, aside singing, or aside like using the vocals. Any musician should know that. But currently, let's run a survey and see how many of our artists are true and true with being like with the musicianship thing, as in creating melodies by themselves, programming stuff by themselves,
be it on the stage or
be it on the stage, off stage. See, most of the conversation will be, oh, I went to the studio, the engineer played me something and I caught the vibe and I just spit on it. This has been it. So sometimes you ask yourself, okay, so how did you connect with this music? And you see, another thing also is that we have people who are even crossing carpets from other sector into music. And all these people are entertainers. If you want to categorize them in that bracket, these people are more of entertainers than true and true musicians. So more often you get these people being put on stage to as it were entertain musicians. Lewen Ombo shows they be. Lewen Kasombo shows they be. Of course. How many? Yes, Ejakomo shows they be. Yes. That is not to say
Papa Kumasi is even bringing their Asaka language to
Frank Neromo show they be.
Oh, Jaisa.
No, I am not saying they are bad musicians. So that's not what I'm saying. No. I just want to
Fafa Lewen Mohoko. What they tell Lewen I bet I say. What they call Frank Neromo
No, they are very patient to say being an entertainer is not bad. In fact, sometimes it gives you, if you're a musician and you are also an entertainer, it gives you edge ahead of your colleagues who are just musicians and not entertainers. But what we are seeing in our spaces, we have more entertainers, and because of that, most people don't focus on musicianship. Being a musician also has to do with when you are on stage, how you are able to entertain the people, how you are able to connect with the people, because the music is not only about entertainment, but has its moral connection and spiritual connection as well. It's no bit na obi performing no obi soon. Obi performing no be a trashy. It is not just about jumping here and there, or not just about you doing antics to entertain the people, but how the people are able to connect with your performance physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. This is what makes you a true musician. But if you double as an entertainer, or you have that entertaining bit in you as a musician, it is a plus. So me, I agree with him. Unfortunately, most people who are not true and true musicians but are raw entertainers have taken the space of musicians, and that is why he's complaining.
Those who are not true and true
musicians
have taken the space
of musicians. So you see, a slot that should have been given to Wuta Free, Anka Live, Okita Mike, and Okita Band, and Odina Stage, so Uncle Betty Mia Rocky Zim, no. Because the entertainer, no, or somebody who is seen as an entertainer, or no maybe or cut from a different sector and put around music, no. Because Otimiya antics, our numbers be Otimiya near maybe a bit in your training, then we book that person for a show, then we neglect Wuta. And Chube say the person will come, then at the end of the day will give a symbolic performance on stage. But because of maybe because of some antics, why be obey was stage name. But the display of real musicianship on stage no or lack. The likes of Ambulemu and especially the OGs who are vested in live performances, when they see some of the young ones on stage, because most people are more focused in, oh, let the Mami Mancofon Antonium. When they sing and I sing, or when they sing for me, I am entertaining them. No. But how about you displaying real musicianship? We have people who stand on stage, and is it Daughters of Glorious Jesus or so? One of them can play the percussion.
Yeah. I think she's called Cynthia.
Exactly. This is real display of musicianship. And aside entertaining you, or some amount display of musicianship, say Ujana, on one kasabeti creating yomono ewo stage. How many musicians now? How many of our young crop musicians now Uja stage so on beti creating music? most of them will find themselves wanting aside whatever they've recorded in the studios. So me, what Wuta Efriye is saying, I agree with him that there are more entertainers in the space than real musicians, especially when it comes to the music side.
I see. Kobe.
Boss.
Roland has said the tone right. I enjoyed that particular submission. Do you also think Kobe, no, Wuta Efriye, he's not Wuta Kobe. Do you think he's right?
I think I'll agree with him with a percentage being 50-50. Yeah. The reason why I'm saying this is that, let me start by saying this. You see, every musician is an entertainer, but not all entertainers are musicians.
Take it again.
Every musician is an entertainer.
Every musician is an entertainer.
But not all entertainers are musicians.
Okay.
And the reason why it's happening like this because now let's consider the demand of supply and demand. In most cases, the people at these events more or less always looking forward to someone who entertains them, not necessarily someone who more or less show that kind of that musicianship thing that we're talking about. Right now, if you book an artist for an event, the people coming are looking up to someone who can show them, someone who can entertain them, someone who can wow them, like make them feel so. At the end of the day, the money that yes. But
my experience is worth my money.
But it takes only few people who understand this kind of musicianship thing that we are talking about. So it's not just performing, it's not just the antics, but I just want to feel the live thing in the music. I just want to feel the musician standing on the show. I just want to see some elements that he can do that goes beyond being an entertainer. So this is how the whole thing has turned. And that is the reason why most, event organizers will always book these people. Because if I know if I book someone who can entertain my fans, I'll more or less get my money. And right now too, with the musicianship thing that we are talking about, the OGs can more or less attest or more or less find themselves in those space. But the new ones, they are not now focusing on that thing. Right now, every new or upcoming artist coming or musician coming has a focus. So let me more or less try and build a brand to the extent that I can entertain my fans. But they don't more or less focus on any other thing. Right? They don't want to be like, oh, let me even learn how to even play drums. Let me more or less add other features to me. That will more or less differentiate me from the others. So the focus now is, let us now get something that can make the crowd, sing to our song. That can make the crowd dance to the music. But they don't want to do anything extraordinary. That is how come when they go standing on platform on stages and there's a bit mistake or maybe a flaw, they found wanting. Because at that moment they don't know what to do again. So now they start blaming the event organizers. The sound is not good. This is not good. Because whatever that he can do is that let the music play and let me get a mic and entertain the people. Aside that, there's nothing that he can do. So I think it is on a good call. So most fast rising artists that are coming should take this opportunity and add value to them. How many of our musicians right now, or even our entertainers that claim to be musicians right now, can even go beyond that belt that we're talking about? But anytime you raise this conversation, it will be like, oh, you don't know what goes into what, even composing some. And even 90% of our people now, right now, only few of them can even compose good music. 70 of them, we get some people who write the song for them, they just hit to the studio and they start doing the singing.
The vibe.
Yeah.
They catch the vibe.
Yeah, that's it. So until they add certain features to them, this is how it will always be. So they should learn things, add certain things to themselves so that they can more or less fit into the character. And Tessa, they will stand with someone like Angule, like JW Angule, and always he will be killing shows and they will always having the conversation. We don't have the support, we don't have this, because someone like Angule that you're talking about, he passed through the live band race, he passed through that kind of process. So they learn the whole thing, music thing, they learn the musicianship thing. They understood that being a musician just go beyond standing on a stage and singing, but you need to add certain features. That is how come they will stand on a stage, perform like 2 hours, and they will still entertain the people. But our own right now, performance in Point Kofu Baby, I'm always space music. I'm performing about 30 minutes. You can see some sound, even how the response. One voice because only should be over your account because they didn't build themselves to meet that level. So they should take this opportunity and learn more. Yeah.
So which one would you prioritize, to become an entertainer or to become a musician? Which one would you prioritize?
I think if you have a long-term focus, or maybe you have a target that is not going to be like 2 years or 3 years for me to be in a race, I think you should consider being a musician. Because being a musician will help grow the brand beyond that. And that is how come when there's a new thing, you can easily switch because you build or you prepared yourself to beat that target. Yeah.
Well, good response there. Let me go on Nana Reagan to wrap this up, then we move on to other matters. Nana?
Honestly speaking,
is talking.
I don't know if I should agree with him or disagree with him. Because what he's saying, there's some understanding that I am getting from the story, and I don't really like it. Yeah, like
what's the understanding?
It paints a picture like if you are not doing the live band, like if you are not playing an instrument as a musician or a person or an entertainer, it limits you to being an entertainer. But if you are doing the extra, when you are being groomed to, to play certain instruments or do an additional things to just writing songs and recording them from the studio, then that is when I understand some portions where he is coming from, but I don't want us to like look at the thing like, okay, the person who sings and can't play any instruments, that person is still a musician. The vocals at some point is described as an instrument.
Yeah.
You understand? So let me just read the
portion that you have problems.
I mean, not the portion. I'm just taking the musician and then the entertainer thing. It says that a musician is a person who plays one or many musical instruments and is also referred to as an instrumentalist. Okay. It goes further to say that they can also be a singer who provides vocals, a songwriter who writes music,
who provides vocals,
a songwriter who writes music and lyrics, a conductor who directs a musical performance. Or an accompanist who provides musical accompaniment. And then the entertainer says that an entertainer is a person who tries to please or amuse others by performing. They can include telling jokes, singing, dancing, reciting poems, anything. You are all entertainers. So the point I'm trying to make is whatever a free is trying to put, whatever message he's trying to put across, I think he should be telling Ghanaian musicians that they should up their games to get to the international standards that we have been watching other people do. Because
when he said it like this, did you not get the message?
No, it will confuse somebody. It will confuse some people. If Nana Reagan gets it, I am not the only person he is talking to. It will make somebody feel like, okay, then because Sako de Shatawale, Wendy Shea, or some other people are not seen like or have been performing like others have been doing, they are not musicians. But they are musicians. That's the point I'm trying to make. So whether you play live, no matter what thing you are doing to amuse and entertain somebody, as a musician, you need to entertain. So the bottom line, the end result is entertaining people. So the comedian, when a comedian gets on stage, the end result is he is coming to entertain the audience. It's done. When the musician gets on stage, he is there to entertain the audience there. So whether if the person can, you see, there are some people that can only sing and can't play any instruments. These people, I think that we should look at their strength and then employ people, employ instrumentalists, employ certain people that we think that, okay, if Nana Reagan is managing a certain artist that can only sing and not play instruments, but if the person is on that level, performing with such a band, the person is very, very good. So what do? We create employment with that person. We will call somebody who can play the instruments, and then we will, at the end of the day,
you use him to do the singing.
That's all. don't make us look. We shouldn't have conversation like we are forcing everybody to do something like. Maybe our talents now on ultimate chrono. There are people who can write songs. They can't enter into a music studio to record them. That's his talent. So we will get another person who can also, record. Another person who can also perform. So if you want us to have this conversation,
so you would suggest that we call all these people as musicians?
Yes, they are. According to what the little thing that I just read. They are all musicians. Patapa is a musician.
Of course.
When Kojon Cancer Lewin is on stage and is performing Lada Fruko Obeye, he is a musician at that point. If he gets into his comedy character and he's doing skits and movie and he's still entertaining people.
He's more entertainer than a musician at that point. Because this is Kojon Cancer. Okay, wait. This Kojon Cancer who, when he comes on the stage, that's less of the singing.
Oh, he sings. So he sings his songs.
No, that's what I'm saying. I did not say he did not sing at all. But he does less of the singing. Kojon Cancer will sing all right. But in terms of the quantity of time he would devote for singing, they are always less. Rather, he would love to dance more. He would love to interact with the audience more. Sometimes he even brings in other props, like then shot people. I went to some Kwawe event. He came and he was sharing fowls. Fowls.
Yeah, it's true.
Live fowls on the stage of Faku say no I took him. At that time.
You think he's entertaining?
Yes.
But he's a musician. If that is a stagecraft and that is what will entertain the people there. You see, do you know what is drawing?
Musicians can be entertainers, but it is not every entertainer who
can be a musician. Yes.
Of course, a comedian. There are no plenty of comedians that can't be a musician. So the thing I am saying is that you see, he's trying to draw our attentions to the standard of performance, where a musician gets on stage and some of them clearly you could tell that they don't their stage craft is not planned. Like there's nothing on Nimche and I say his song DJ no Charlie Bona. You see, so if you want us to have that conversation, don't put it in this way because, like I said earlier, you confuse some people. Let us talk about our stage craft. Let us talk about what we bring on the stage apart from our hit songs that people already know. What are you giving to the people that you want them to buy tickets at 500 Ghana cedis, 1,000 Ghana cedis, and come and sit and watch you? Is it all about singing and putting the mic to the audience and say, "Mentio"? Is that all you can do as an entertainer? It goes beyond it. So you bring some of the things that maybe per your experience at Kobe, you can say, okay, when we add these things to our craft, we are going to get to this level. When we do this, we are going to get here. Once we are not doing this, then we are not going to attract the international audience as we expect. So let's do both and then we will be okay. And I think if he puts it like that, I will agree with him. But to do that, musician and entertainer kind of argument, it's some way, because I think they are bedmates. They sleep together. If you're a good musician, you're a good entertainer. Yes.
Like a good entertainer, can you equally?
No, a good entertainer can be a comedian. Somebody who is even reciting poem. He is an entertainer.
Yes, he is an entertainer.
He can be good. He can't necessarily be a musician.
No, I think
but if you are,
but you see, there are some people who are entertainers, but can use music to entertain you regardless of their field. So, let's say a comedian like Okala mostly uses music. Does that make him a musician?
No, he's not.
Exactly. So that is the dynamics that Wuta Free is trying to play. So the thing is that
he's in his argument, he's talking about the musicians he sees today.
Yes.
He's not talking about going to bring a certain
he said the current
comedian to do. He's talking about artists.
Yes, and I agree
that is
where my problem is.
And I agree that he should let the trumpet should be to, like me, I understood say he's talking to his current colleagues of musicians to up their game in terms of musicianship on stage, because to some people, apart from press one, DJ, play, pause, hold up, pull up, they don't know anything again. And being a musician or the display of musicianship goes beyond that. That is why some people find themselves wanting, when some of these things, like they get some hitches in their performance, they can't do anything because they don't have any other strategy. But if you're a proper musician and even everything goes off, you can still be able to entertain a crowd. But if you are an entertainer and your source of entertainment is based on the materials that you only get on stage, when there are hitches, you can't entertain again. That is where the balance is. So I agree with him, and I agree with Reagan too as well, that the message should go to the current crop of musicians to up their game or their level of musicianship on stage.
Well, Free Year Wuta has really sparked a conversation, and I also want to believe there are some truism in what he's saying, in the sense that there are some people who can be on the stage and what they are doing, they are entertaining more than they are singing.
Of course.
That's why some of them cannot even do live performance. Such people, I'm not sure they would qualify as through and through musicians, but rather we can refer to them as pure entertainers. And there are many of them. In fact, we are many in the space.
Plenty.
Yes, there are many of them in the space who can entertain rather than sing. But whilst I am doing this introduction, Richie can be rolling a video that I want my audience and my studio panel members to also see. And I asked a simple question when I was discussing with my producers, that who should we blame in this act? Should we blame a musician who was careless, or we should blame the organizers who did a bad setup? In fact, when I saw this, I nearly fell myself, because I felt like, oh, like how? And looking at it, I'm just asking, who should we blame? A careless musician who does not study his surroundings, or a careless stage director or stage designer? Kobe.
Boss.
Why for that?
Serious.
Who do we blame? Like, we ain't blaming wine.
Because
wait. Do you know why I'm asking that question? Yeah. It is so obvious where he went to was not his space.
Yeah.
His space is the space up that behind him.
Yeah.
That is performance space. Yeah. But they provided that small space for you to just come and interact with your audience. Yeah. So such a place, you just go back and you move. Back. So if you're an artist, I'm sure they are. You see, wait till this is very technical. Yeah, if you're an artist, they are expecting you, the moment you go there, know your space, that this place is not my space. Yeah. Don't go there and buy land there. Go and do some handshake, back, look behind you and walk back. Yeah. But this guy went there, I'm sure whatever he went to do there, he was enjoying it. Nero, if he say, hey, I've moved out of my zone. And this is a major event to look at the people. Huge, like the festival of a sort. Huge. Who do we blame? Is it the artist who was careless, or the event people who have, because you see, let me also give one thing that the event organizer also did wrong. In such cases, that space, you let that space only show. You don't let any other things come, because I'm sure when he saw those things there, he thought, oh, the floor is that big. And oh, those things too are metals, and
this not taking. Brass, I mean, this thing is one thing that can happen to any musician. Like, a bit to me out to
careless musician.
Not necessary. Sometimes it's not about you being careless, but it's an accident to me. But you can still, I mean, take all the precautions and other things, but you can still engage yourself in certain things. Like, and I won't be surprised. Sometimes too, overexcitement can also lead to that. Because imagine you have a huge crowd like this. the excitement itself can even make you forget that.
Richard, send me this video right now on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Let me go and do some campaign elsewhere.
Getting closer to, this musician can even make you, find your way through that thing. So I will blame both parties. The organizers and even the artists. And one thing that our artists should also pay attention to is that safety starts from you. Your safety always starts from you. Even if we provide all the things that you need to perform on a stage, if you still don't hold your safetyness to the priority level, you will still engage yourself in certain things like that. Sometimes it's not even only just falling in a hole or maybe a gap that is being created that you are not even aware. You can, even jumping, sometimes jumping on a stage can even cause such accidents. Maybe the intention wasn't to just jump and fall, but out of that excitement, landing, you couldn't land well, and as a result of that, made you, engage yourself in this. So, you two organizers in the phone, so now you two artists and for sale. When they get to the crowd like this, they should be careful some of the antics that they play on stage, because on a stage, anything at all can happen. And your life is the most important. Imagine this one like this, falling in that, hole, and maybe you couldn't, get a life to even rise again. That ends the whole thing. So take care of your life and always make sure that whatever that you are doing on stage, you are more or less careful about it. Even not, it will always happen like this. Yeah.
Attend to my question again in simple words. Who do you blame?
This is I blame the artist.
Good. Ro.
Well, Sammy, I want to blame the artist, but in a very sympathetic way. Yes.
In a very professional way.
In a very professional way, because yes, I can't blame the event organizer.
Why can't you blame them?
So you see?
I understand why I'm asking who do we blame. The event organizer did not leave. You see, oftentimes, Rich, bring it back again. When they have dense spaces at the front, it is only that space. They don't add any attachment. But you see the attachment there. It makes you feel like, oh, ube timage now.
So this is it. This is where the confusion is. No, this is where this is where the confusion is. You see, on the stage, there are demarcations. The yellow or green stripes now, they are not just there for decoration. So they are there as demarcations, so anybody on stage, when you see one nipa no share black now, because even one say there's a certain yellow line there, that is a demarcation. The red stripes that you are seeing means that it is a stairs. It is not a flat stage. A stairs. The red stripes that you are seeing, or at where the yellow stripes is, means a stairs. It is not. So you see, even there in front, before he fell, on where he was, there's another red stripe over there. It means that one is also a stairs. You understand? So there are demarcations on the stage. There are demarcations on the stage before the artist got on stage. All these things, I remember, was it time that Chris Brown Beshiku as well, I was privy to one of their emails, one of the emails from their team, and when they sent their rider and their demands and all that, they asked for a complete measurement of the stage, where the artist, like demarcations of where the artist would be going. They sent a full 3D, a full say 2D or say 3D. Your friends say architectural display of the stage for them. Even when the artist is practicing, so they would know where to step, where not to steps, where are the gray areas, where are the your friends say good areas, so the artist can display. And when you go for sound checks and all that, all these things are being taught, especially if you are an artist or a member or like a team member of the artist. All these things you are supposed to know. I want to sympathize with him because probably because of the confetti on stage, he probably missed the demarcations. You see, when I am sure when he came, those confettis that were scattered on stage was his
those things that were sprayed.
Yes, was his announcement. I take you back to when D Black came to perform. Is it at the VGMA or I think VGMA or 3 Music? So they confetti by a spray. You see, the organizers were angry because they did not tell the organizers they were going to do that, and that spraying the confetti off stage was causing an inconvenience. And when you leave it on stage too, you see the demarcations that have been made on stage. Some people will miss it. So if it is the fault of the organizers and they want some of these things, that is why even with the confetti you can still see clear demarcations of the stage. The colors that they use in demarcating the stage are very clear. You will still see it. It is not conspicuous like that for you to miss it. You will still see it. I will not blame the event organizers that much, because they've done all the demarcations on stage that you as an artist, you should be very careful when you are moving. In fact, professionally, people, they hardly, in recent times, I think some of these things, like event organizers they've gone out of their way to give demarcation signs, including showing stairs. When was the last time you saw stripes demarcations on stage? Hardly, because most stages don't have that steps. Mostly on bare steps are airco backstage, and that is where they do mostly stairs there. But here in front of the stage, they've even been able to demarcate to tell you, say there's stripes. I have said a stairs, so you need to watch your step before you take a step.
So do you think the artist?
Yes, the artist missed it. He missed it completely on stage.
Okay, Nana. You people work with artists though, so.
I know. Yeah. I think that this one they will go directly to the artist. I'm saying this because from my little knowledge, when you go for sound check, on stage they will tell you where the artist can move to and where the artist can't move to. So if you are an artist, maybe I am blaming him because I want to believe he did not even go to sound check. Some of our artists don't go to for sound check.
No, these are pros, Masa.
Oh, do you think all of them? Some of them.
No, it's out of excitement.
If you're a pro, out of excitement shouldn't beat you for you to be having some of these accidents. I mean, if you're a pro, you should be very, very. In fact, you should be extra careful with some of them, especially when there are demarcations like Roland was saying. It's been indicated that the yellow gone. Baby, I know Jinano. The reason I'm blaming him, let's forget about the entire stage. Baby, I would Jinano. That small thing. There was a box, and the demarcations were very clear, yellow, gone. So when you are going off it, you should know I am going off. And I know about. Was he drunk? Like, let's look at that side too, because some of our
engaging the audience.
Some of our artists, before they come on stage, the alcohol.
Yeah. So he was engaging the audience.
You see, Rasame.
The fall was a heavy
There's this part of the conversation that we need to echo very, very well. The drugs before stage can lead to some of these things. And at that point, it doesn't matter if you're a pro or you are a beginner or amateur or whatever. It doesn't matter. You have to be careful. You should know don't overdo drugs and get on stage. Yes, you be big headed and especially when the audience are cheering you up and you forget about
your energy.
You are likely to forget about some of these things. So I want to believe maybe he has done a little alcohol and it can lead to some of these things. So next time I sympathize with him, but next time you should check some of this. If not for alcohol or any drug, then clearly you can't blame the organizers for it, because one needs to be provided for any artist to know that okay, this is a no-go area. They've done it. They've provided those things. Now you have gone beyond what their boundaries, and you've had this accident, and I mean it's unfortunate, but we can't blame anybody than to blame the artist. Some of them out of excitement. The other day I watched one guy's video. He will go back and then he will jump into the crowd. You see that guy?
Now you want to say what's up,
They
They did it to Ashake at the Afro Nation.
When they open inside. Maybe I will see the bell.
You see
I
yourself.
said they did it to Ashakela.
So sometimes they should measure, you know, their excitement and all of that. I mean, it also tells that you're a pro indeed. I mean, if you're a pro and you're doing some of these mistakes, it doesn't speak well of you.
Big man, R.I.P. Sorry for whatever happened. Very, very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. Okay, so let's try to attempt this very last one, then we run away from here. Yao Talk has spoken. I think I want us to look at that one instead. Yao Talk has spoken, and according to Yao Talk, all the noise about Ghanaian drill music in the Grammys, it is because of them. They have done everything possible for that mention to be done for Ghana. And some people agree with him and others also disagree. He says, I am one of the reasons Grammy added Ghanaian drill to the new category. Yao Talk. MC Berman because Yao Talk. Yao Talk. Yao Talk assets. Okay, so this is Baden Ghanaian drill rapper, professionally known as Yao Talk, has asserted that his influence played a crucial role in the inclusion of the Ghanaian drill genre in the Recording Academy's Grammy Awards. Recall that just a few weeks ago, the Recording Academy announced new categories that encompasses a wide range of genres, including Afrobeat, Afrofusion, Afropop, Afrobeat, Alte, Amapiano, Bongo Flavor, Genji, Kizomba, Chimurenga, High Life, Fiji, Kwasa, Ndombolo, Mapuka, Ghanaian Drill, Afro House, South African Hip Hop, as well as the Ethio Jazz. Yao Talk is saying that during an interview with Cookie T on TV3 New Day, Yao Talk confidently stated that his body of work influenced the addition of Ghanaian Drill to the Grammy Awards. He acknowledged the contributions of other artists such as the Saka Boys, Kofi Jamal, Kweku Flick in solidifying the genre's presence. Yao Talk expressed his excitement upon learning about the new category through his road manager's Instagram story while relaxing at home. The inclusion of Ghanaian drill music in the Grammy Award signifies a significant milestone in recognizing the talent and innovation emerging from Africa and the global African diaspora. Ghanaian drill combines traditional Ghanaian sounds with contemporary hip-hop and trap influences, captivating audiences worldwide and amassing a dedicated fan base. This recognition by the Recording Academy reflects the growing impact and popularity of African music genres on global stage. Ghana, do you agree with him?
Yes.
You do, huh?
Yes. This is simple. This is just like saying that the Asamoah generation, you know, are part of the reasons why, or are the reasons why today Black Stars' name are everywhere when it comes to World Cup tournament. You understand? It doesn't mean that the likes of Abedipele and the Kwame Ayus and the Baba Yara and those people did not try to make any efforts to qualify for the World Cup. That's not it. It's far from that. And it is not no disrespect to them as well. In fact, it was during their time that they were able to achieve that dream. So if somebody wants to attribute that to himself, I mean, the person has every right or every bragging right to say whatever. And that is exactly what Yao Talk is doing. He's not saying that the other musicians are not better or he's better than somebody. Or he is saying that what they did contributed to what we are seeing today. And there's no lie about it. When we had hits from the Asaka Boys, Yao Talk, Kofi Jamal, Dems, and all of that. We also have our industry, you know, was active and all of that, and the kind of demand that it brought from even outside the country. and all of it. That is when Stormzy even had to come down and do a feature on the remix and all. So it was a huge thing, and it was definitely start a conversation. So if he's saying that yes, it was part of the reasons why Grammy considered the genre to be part of Grammy's new categories, this one there's no argument. Why should we argue? Why there is no point? I don't know why anybody would want to say, unless of course you want to, interpret what he is saying as he being over other musicians, he being better than, but that's not what he means. That's not what he's saying. This is simple. If today we are talking about, let's say, the change in Ghana's entertainment space, I can proudly say that I am part of the people who led the campaign or movement to do ABC. I can say it. In fact, when it comes to entertainment discussions like that, I can proudly say it on any day, anywhere. I am part of it. Yes. I am part of it. It doesn't mean that before Nana Reagan there were no entertainment writers or there were no, pundits or critics in there. No, maybe they did their work to some extent. And then we also came to continue, and now we've had the achievement. Yes, I still own that bragging right. In fact, I can even go a step further to say that I am part of the changes at Gamro. Yes. Shout out to Uncle Rex. I am part of it. For how many lines is still the job? For Uncle Rex to meet me and engage me on Gamro issues, it should tell you my influence when it comes to some of this. So what you are talking is saying, let's not misunderstand. I know Ghanaians definitely the best family. Yeah, I have a cancer, but this is no pride. This is no disrespect to anybody.
Kobe, thank you, Nana Reagan. Yes, Kobe, you are closing.
That is 100% true. No two ways about it. And I was very happy when, as part of his submission, he gave some kind of kudos to the likes of, Coco Flake, Kofi Jama, and even Asaka. Because it was during their time that this whole thing, escalated. And I think Obiya Dia Yambona Baso, but because I know people will twist the whole thing. And the last time I was going through some of his posts and I saw some comment that wasn't more or less okay.
Yeah, talks post.
Yes, like people were saying, he's trying to be arrogant, to see us or basso, and that's one thing about we Ghanaians. Yeah, say sikaniba to me nitina uyi aboy the end you're a guy. My young guy, I'm not sure you're no uyi aboy the chest. I like this. You should change that kind of narration. Say. If there is a bit advancement in someone's life and the person also improve his standard of living, meaning Nipana Basu, he doesn't respect that kind of mindset is 1842 mindset. We are in 21st century and things has changed. He has worked hard for it, and I think whatever that he's saying, he has the board, he has every right to say it. He should be confident. Imagine him fighting a race and at the end of the day, getting to know, this whatever thing that I do has more or less yielded this result. I can confidently say, at least I also contributed a bit to it. And of course, he did that. And now, one thing that some person can't say, this Ghanaian drill, I won't be surprised if one day the Nigerian people will come and steal it. Because yeah, it's true. I won't be surprised. Oh, Yenihana Mapiano, they raised this agenda, say they are now doing it even better than the South Africans.
But the Nigerians have started doing drill, haven't you heard?
Yeah, and that is why I'm saying, if you don't take care, if you don't take care, they will come around be saying, they are even the originators of this whole thing. Because the last time hearing or following a conversation online, there was this agenda going online that Nigerians are now even doing the Amapiano even better than the South Africans. Which is more or less not being fair. So, in as much as that we are raising our flag saying, this is ours, we should more or less to be conscious and be smart enough to defend it right. If not, our brother Nigerians, with them, everything is possible.
Violence. Ru, young boy, time as soon
this has nothing to do with Nigerians.
Okay.
Our talk has spoken his truth, and that's it. I went on YouTube to check his numbers, and the Sorry remix with Stormzy has 7.4 million views in 2 years. Yes, and even the original song has 6.2 million views in 2 years. You can't talk about African drill music without mentioning Sorry. And Sorry is owned by Talk. So definitely he has every right to say he is one of the contributors of it. You can now amass 20 million, 100 million views or streams from it today. It doesn't still negate the fact that he's also contributed. Because if we are, recently when the streaming platform was Spotify was doing the Afrobeat profiling and all that, they collated all the streams that all these musicians have made in or like on the Afrobeat slot, isn't it? Including the ones that have been streamed 2, 3, 4, 5, all amounting to certain billions of streams in these years. So yes, when Talk says he's one of the reasons why Grammy nominated, yes, you can't take it away from him. And does he have the material to show? Yes, he does. At what period? In this same period. And let's check the level of impact that this particular song made. It is not as if he just did the song was in Ghana. This guy went on tour with Sam Trophy. Let's not also forget. Internationally, he made an impact somewhere. And we know how some of these things contribute to certain conversations in the space. So I agree with him. Yes, he said it. And he has work to show. It is not as if Talk is alien to what he's talking about.
He's done it before.
Yes, he's done it. He's doing it as we speak. And I also like the acknowledgement that he gave to other people as well. If he did not mention anybody outside Ghana, probably because he's also not heard of you. Same way you probably. But he's talking about Ghanaian. And same way you probably have also not heard of Talk. Nobody will fault you, but he's mentioning the contributors that he know say out of their effort that Grammy has been able to recognize the Ghanaian drill. And definitely he would mention Ghanaians. He would not mention any other nationals, especially the ones that are immediate to him. I like the acknowledgement that he gave to the other contributors, so he doesn't seem like he's trying to take everything by himself. The fact that he's mentioned them is what makes the whole statement complete. Yes, he is part, but he is not the only one. He's mentioned other people, including the ones that we don't know, who also contributed to the American or the Ghanaian drill wave. So I agree with him.
Well, but where is Kofi Jama?
Kofi Jama is there.
No.
He's there.
Has he been releasing songs?
The last time I checked, I think Nana already born in me. So yeah, his last release, I think, a few months ago. Yes, he's found new consciousness, so that's it.
But when they say Mama, they Satawale, they move your money because under a bosom. Because Charlie's not easy. I shop right now, bruh.
You get it for you to get hit song. Like within you know it means I say 2.
Even without the hit song there. Omomunya hit song nimpo. Check the relevance. Like Sarkodie, Sammy, Shatawale. Like check the relevance. So in the past 3 years, none of them back that national hit bam back to back. But check the level of relevance of more. It is not even easy. We are not saying, yes, we know in our space the benchmark is hit song. But unya hit song, how do you keep your relevance? That is also another problem that we need to discuss. Because some people, aside hit song, they are as good as dead. Film crowd that they can't do any other thing to keep themselves relevant. And I think
it is just about managing your
What takes
frustration.
them to depression.
Just manage it right.
And then you go depression.
To every Ghanaian artist out there struggling to survive on music, we wish you guys well. We understand it is not easy. We talk to them, we move with them. So we understand the situation is not easy. So to us as consumers and as fans, let's also be measured how we deal with them, how we talk to them, especially on social media. Over there, it is so toxic. or should I say too toxic? Yes, two will be will be defining it well. It is too toxic on social media. Thanks to Kobe Josvan, the nation's blogger. Their high school showbiz is coming up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be going to Cape Coast, so you guys should come and let's go and activate high school showbiz.
I will surely join.
Kofi Jama has a flyer of performing on Rema's show.
Yeah.
Yes, in Philadelphia.
I heard that. Oh, he's in America now?
On 16th. Yes, I'm tempted to believe so.
And the last time I heard he's also working on an album. Something.
Well, thanks to Roland Amate, Shagzy. It's time to ride. If you're in Ghana or anytime you come into Ghana and you are not coming to use your own car, download the Shagzy app. And when you come, you'll be having some comfortable ride and safety rides here in Ghana. Nana Reagan is also talent manager, road manager for Wendy Shea. In case you want to do any booking, be ready with good money though. And I've done some editorial this afternoon. You guys have to watch it. Oh, okay. I've done some service to the international promoters. Okay. Ghana for no shoes no. Thanks to Digital Rasta Currency on camera, Richie Flex, editor director of the show. Subscribe to us if you've not done that, and remember, we are in this with you. My name is Sammy Flex. We are out of here.